So as you can see, I have a plain black canvas, and this canvas is not a large canvas. It's 30 centimeters by 40 centimeters with a thin edge. I've painted all around the edges, and it's just black at the moment because I wanted to have that as the depth in the background. So first of all, I'm going to take one of my stencils and choose which one will be the first layer. And I think I'm going to use this one. So taking titanium white, put some on the palette right here. And just not too much to start with, because we don't want it to dry out. And I have my stencil brush here, and basically it's just a normal paintbrush, a thick paintbrush, where I've cut the edge off to be flat. It's called a stippling brush or a stenciling brush, and you keep it completely dry when you're doing this process of stenciling, and you don't need much paint on the brush. So initially just dip it in to the white, and then don't have too much on the brush, so stipple it off. So there it is, and just start stenciling your canvas like so. And I'm going to do this section making sure that it doesn't go underneath the stencil as much as you possibly can, that it stays. That's why it has to be dry. The brush has to be dry, and you don't have too much paint on the brush. So I've done that particular section, and now the moment of truth. Okay, that's fine. And moving it along. Doesn't have to be perfectly placed, but more or less. And then pick up some more white on your brush and continue this section. If it moves, just push it back to the original place. So now I've completed that section, and I'm just going to take my stencil and brush and give them a quick wash. Okay, so now I've decided to choose this stencil for the bottom of the painting. This is just the initial stages, as you know. Now, I'll take my glasses. I've dried my brush. I'm going to put more white on to the palette, and I'm leaving a gap between the two stencils because I want the eye to be drawn in to the dark area, into the depth. So, taking my brush, making sure it's not too wet, dipping it into the white paint again, and then taking off some of it, some of the paint. I'll actually do it on the table. I've got my creaky chair, and off I go with this stencil down the bottom. What I do like about stenciling is that it can be very, very neatly done, or it can be, there can be some mistakes, and that's kind of what I'm looking for, because I tend to be very controlling with the brush, and I want to get past that a little bit by using stencils and seeing the sort of accidents that happen just naturally and accepting them. So I'm going round the edge. Keeping it in place with your left hand or your right hand, depending on your tendency, and then moment of truth. Yes, okay, good. Then just move it along to the next section. Okay, so I've finished that section, and I'm going to let that dry, and then we'll get on with the next stage.